All right, we are back on the comedy side to let you know that what we do know, which is not really that much. So that's why we're going to chat about it. So let's go straight into it. Comedy series. Is the reigning two-time reigning champ Veep about to make it a turkey? You know, in bowling, it's three is a turkey. So is it about to knock three out in a row? I personally do not think so. I think it's having a pretty weak year. But I mean, you guys know I'm a Veep. I'm critical of Veep at times. So what do you guys think?
I think that Veep will probably be a front runner unless it kind of goes off air for some reason. I just think there's a bit of a inertia in this category because I can't see anything else that's new that is so amazing, apart from Atlanta, perhaps, which I'm skeptical about too, that will knock it off its perch. That is just so good and so buzzed about. Like in the drama categories, it's a whole different ball game. In the comedy series categories, it's like, I don't know.
I think it's vulnerable, but I want to see how it performs in comparison to its competition.
It's so timely.
Yeah.
This year.
It is very timely.
It's about a woman who deserves to be president, and now she's not. It's like that's literally what's going on in our world right now. But I think the fact that her character is no longer running for president, the show kind of loses something that it had, and that there's nothing at stake anymore for her. I'm not sure why we're following these characters. It's almost like a spin-off of Veep. It's like Veep after the presidency. It feels kind of like a different show to me.
Completely. I mean, what made Veep great, a couple of years ago when it won, was the ensemble was so strong together. And this season, you have them all kind of separated and apart, and they run into each other at times. But it's just not that cohesive, kind of strong group that you think of when you think of Veep. And I think you've got shows like Black-ish that could come up and get drama and directing and writing that could be a threat. I mean, you got Silicon Valley, which is having a really great season this season, two episodes in only, but that could be something. I mean, we saw Thomas Middleditch get a nomination last year, so that's also on the rise. So I think Veep's a bit vulnerable this year unless it kind of picks itself up.
I think what Black-ish needs is below the line nominations.
That would help.
Completely
it's never
below
had
the
a
line.
single below the line.
That's the problem. It needs a writing nomination. It needs a directing nomination. It could use an editing nomination. We need to see something outside of just what we've seen.
That's why I don't think it's going to win. I just can't see it being the winner.
So what's going to win then?
That's the thing. It's Veep. Because can we talk about Atlanta? Because I just want to say I understand that I like it. I think it's a good show, but there's the way that the critics have given it this, like it's the greatest thing that's ever been made. Like they're falling over themselves to say how much they love it, and I don't get it. I don't get why. Can someone please tell me?
Well, look, I think that the thing that Atlanta has going for it is it has done well at the guilds.
Very well.
But there's a difference between winning Best Comedy Series at the Hollywood Foreign Press, where even if they go, well, I don't really get it, but it's popular and everyone loves it, so okay, here you go. They'll do it. The Emmys aren't like that. They're not going to go, well, I don't get it, I don't really like it, but it's hip, it's popular, here you go. They're not going to do that. So that's going to favor something they understand, which is going to be Veep. I don't know if they're going to understand a hip-hop comedy show, but being on FX is going to help them. If it was like TBS, they would be in a lot of trouble, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Louis was really popular on FX, and that couldn't pull off a comedy series win. And everybody knows that Atlanta, this is the season for it to win, because after that, next season, it's ineligible because it's taking a break, and then it'll come back the following season potentially. So it's a really hard. I think it's really hard for that show to kind of break through that mold. I think. With Black-ish, I understand the below the line is really important, and I think that could do too. But I also was wondering about Modern Family, not potential to win, but do you guys have it in your predictions?
I do have it in my predictions. I think I have it 7th place. Can we just skip this year? Can we start talking about next year's comedy lineup? Because next year we're going to have Will and Grace back. We're going to have Curb Your Enthusiasm back. It's going to be so exciting.
Maybe Roseanne. Oh my God, my dreams have come true.
Can you imagine that race?
We're going to play fantasy Emmys. That's what we're going to play next year.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Have they run out of ideas? Has Hollywood just run out of ideas, or is the reboot or revival just a new thing now that's really in? I guess.
I think we're kind of in a lull with comedies, like we were a couple years ago with dramas. Eventually we're going to see like 5 or 6 new comedies come in, but I think that Atlanta's big win will probably be writing. I think that will probably be the one. Yeah, I don't think he can win acting, but I think he'll probably win writing. Probably
Master of None is premiering next week, and I'm hoping that it's as good as its first season. I really enjoyed binging that in like a day. I can't wait to just devour that, and I hope that maybe it will continue its that it did quite well last year is what I'm saying, and hopefully it will continue this year. What do you think? What do you all think about Master of None?
I loved it in season 1. It's a very small show, not ratings, but just scope wise. It's a very, very niche kind of show, which doesn't really help with the Emmys, where they broad things that anyone can just watch an episode and love. Like that's why Modern Family won 5 years in a row. So that's why I think it could be hurt a little bit. Same with Atlanta in that way. Like if something were to take down Veep, I really think it would be Black-ish, which is just but like Amanda just said, it has to get some more nominations this year. It only got 3 last year, 3 big ones, but that's not enough to win.
Well, I think that the problem with both Master of None and Atlanta is they skew very young and they skew very male. And skewing male is not necessarily a problem, but the young aspect might be what's holding it back. And they're both these kind of shows created by their stars. They're their vehicles. We didn't see any supporting or guest actress nomination for Claire Danes last year from Master of None. I don't know if anyone else in the Atlanta cast is going to be able to break through. So it's just one of those where all the nominations are focused around Donald Glover. I don't think they're going to award Donald Glover with Best Comedy Series, because they never awarded Louis with Best Comedy Series. They never awarded Lena Dunham with Best Comedy Series.
Right.
Yeah.
Tina Fey is like the only auteur type who wrote and produced and starred in her own show that actually went on to win.
But you could make the case that 30 Rock was an ensemble piece, where these other ones are so much about one person.
Right. Yeah, they don't like shows that are just one person. They don't. They've always liked the ensemble type shows. I mean, Ally McBeal was called Ally McBeal, but it had a fantastic ensemble cast as well.
I don't know. Ralph, to your question, I just took Modern Family out a couple of weeks ago. I probably will put it back because I'm looking at my list and I'm so not excited about putting in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, even Silicon Valley, which could be a contender, could win because it did quite well last year. But Modern Family, for me, it's just, I think I'm putting too much of my personal opinion about the show and how, for me, it's kind of fallen off the radar. But it's still there. Emmy voters probably still watch it. And maybe we shouldn't be so flippant about taking it out.
And
so
I know
Modern Family just had an Emmy event this past week, and there have been 30 or 35 Emmy events that have happened at the Saban TV Academy, their new auditorium so far this year. And Modern Family was the first to be at an overflow capacity for Emmy voters. It holds 600. There are about 650 Emmy voters there, people that were sitting on the steps of the Saban Theater to watch the cast Q&A and to watch the season finale. So, though I don't think it'll equate to a win, I think it's still popular enough with the Academy. As Amanda said, they're broad based and they skew a bit older. So, something, when you've got that kind of thoroughbred cast, I wouldn't discount them out, especially for a Master of None or Kimmy Schmidt. I still think that if you looked at the voting tally from last year, Modern Family was probably in like 5th, 6th place.
Plus, if you're a voter, you're not for nominations. You're not ranking. You're just picking your 10 favorites.
Exactly.
So if you have, let's say you have like 8 favorite shows, when you get to number 9 and number 10, well, Modern Family, okay. you know,
Yeah.
it could just
I'll tell
be
you,
not
as
controversial.
an Emmy
Right.
voter, it's going to be on my list.
And remember,
Even though I don't think it's the best, I think it's still going to be in my top 10.
they're in contract
Right.
negotiations. There's no guarantee that there's a next season. So unless they make that announcement, this could be their last. I'm sure it's probably not, but
Probably not.
this
But yeah,
could be it.
Well,
So
they're going
there's-
to 10. They have already negotiated. It was on the
Okay.
carpet. So they're going to 10. 10 will be probably their final season.
Okay.
Well, I was reading something yesterday. I did not refresh my news feed on Modern
I'm
Family.
terrified to ask this question because we're going to get into this debate about whether it's funny, but Transparent is also in there too.
I took Transparent out.
Skip.
No, it's in there. It's totally in there.
When it fell out of the
Ralph.
SAG Award ensemble race, I was like, nope.
Yeah,
If
that
the actors
it's
have
happening.
turned on the show, that's their biggest support is coming from the acting branch. When the actors
No,
turned
I
on
think
that show,
there's enough support for Jill Soloway and that whole narrative. It's still there. It'll be right at the end.
it's
I
in
think it
fourth
was
place
week-
for the experts' predictions.
Yeah, it's in.
I
And there's a
think,
few of the actors who might get in too. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go to lead actress. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, speaking of Veep, is she a lock to win again?
She's great in that. Whether you like the show or not, surely she's still in. But she does have some competition this year, doesn't she?
Has she won before though? I don't know. I want to see her finally win an Emmy.
Yeah, I really.
She
yeah,
probably
she's
won't
so
this year because Allison Janney has decided to go into the lead actress category.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
well,
Allison
that-
Janney.
I don't even have her in. Do
Allison.
any of you have her in your predictions? I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I took
I
out
have her
Issa
in.
Rae to put her in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have her in second place.
No, I think that's a Gold Derby thing. I don't think that's going to happen.
You know who I have in first, and I think is going to win by a landslide if she's nominated is
Gina Rodriguez?
Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek. If you guys have not
I
watched
love
Schitt's
that
Creek,
show.
you
That's my-
should. Pop is doing a great campaign this year, and thanks to Netflix putting the first 2 seasons on Netflix, the ratings for Schitt's Creek have jumped nearly 50% for its third season. And if people know Catherine O'Hara, they respect her. If she
Love
gets
her.
nominated, she will win.
Oh, I completely agree, but I don't think it's going to happen. But if she does get in there, I have Drew Barrymore in. I think she is.
Wow.
Me too. I have her in
There he
6th place. I think Drew Barrymore is a revelation in Santa Clarita Diet.
If she gets
so
in, then
funny.
I will maybe predict her to win because I think
Me
it's going to
too.
have to be
She's
somebody
awesome.
new
Yeah.
who
She's a
hasn't
name.
gone
She's a
I would
again.
love for her to get in. She's
I
great.
love her in that show, man.
She is
Um,
crazy
Our
funny.
theory at Gold Derby is if you have a strong front runner like Julie is, you need one person to take her
Yeah.
down. Otherwise, everyone else kind of siphons the votes. But I think we're all in
We all
agreement
have
that there's not one person
No,
that can
there
do
isn't.
it.
I
Tracy
think it could be
Ellis Ross?
Allison Janney. I just think it'd be really boring.
It's
Mhm.
boring. But what about Tracy Ellis Ross? Golden Globe
No.
winner Tracy Ellis Ross.
It's possible.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Possible.
You know, the Golden Globes, like children of celebrities,
True,
the
true,
Emmys
true.
are not as fond of them.
She's deserved though. It's not to say she's not deserving, but I think she's certainly in the running. She'll be
I'd like to see if
nominated.
she's going to give birth in the season finale. If she has like
Yeah.
a really great like episode and it's crazy hilarious. That's how Jennifer Aniston won her Emmy.
Do you
Then
guys,
maybe.
do you
but
guys
right
have
now, no.
Ray and Sarah Jessica Parker in your list?
I don't.
No.
I think
No.
you don't. Okay, I do. I don't know. I'm holding on for dear life for those two, but I can see why they're probably not really in the.
I have Tracy
That.
Ullman.
Really? Have you
Yeah.
actually? Have you watched the new Tracy Ullman?
I love
series?
the Tracy
I
Ullman
have.
show.
It's
the new one.
It's not for me. Yeah,
No.
it's not for me.
Apparently, I
But
thought it was
they
funny.
love her.
Oh,
They love
yeah.
her, and they love sketch
They do.
performances like Amy Schumer, who's luckily she's not in this year, so that's really good
Yeah.
news for
She's not
Tracy
gonna be in
Ullman.
any-
Someone read my spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because
Yeah.
I emailed them to him.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
Remember,
not even-
she's pulled off some really shocking wins in the past. She beat like David Letterman and Jay Leno when they were at the height of their popularity. She
They do
ran up
love
there.
They love her so much.
Ran up there and was
love
like,
her.
I beat the
She's- I
boys.
love her.
Yeah, she's very beloved.
If she
Are
got
we
in,
ready to
she might
move
be
on?
one of those people, but it's one of those like, we need to see who gets in.
I'm rooting for Ellie Kemper, but yeah, we can move on. to
I
that.
don't even have
I
her
would
on my
love
list.
that. I
She's
would
not even
love
on my
that.
list.
I'm rooting for
Oh.
Gina
You've missed that
Rodriguez.
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course you are.
Fantasy
that's fine.
Emmys.
Maybe I should root for God, I've forgotten her name. The crazy ex-girlfriend. 'Cause
Rachel
we know- Rachel Bloom.
Nobody knows her name.
I think
All right,
she's
comedy actor
Comedy.
Jeffrey Tambor shockingly lost to SAG to William H. Macy. Can William H. Macy actually pull off a shameless Emmy victory here, or is this Donald Glover's to lose?
I think Donald Glover needs to just get in the category. That's going to be hard. He's very young, and it skews very young. But I think look out for someone like John Lithgow. If he could sneak in there from trial and error, he definitely could take that from him. He's won the category 3 times.
No comment. What about Anthony
He's
Anderson?
hilarious.
I love him in Black-ish, and he could probably win.
Yeah.
This category's open. This category's
got
way
a great
open.
episode. He has a great episode.
Oh, he does.
Plus, he's filled in for Jimmy Kimmel on Jimmy Kimmel Live, so he's very, very popular. People love him. He's also hosting a game show.
I think if Black-ish has an increase in nominations, it might not win drama. It might not win comedy series, but I could see him finally getting the momentum to win comedy actor, because I think when Jeffrey Tambor lost that SAG award, he opened the Emmy race up. That's all that did.
I don't want to get too excited about that, meaning like I think we should all be very wary of that, because I think Jeffrey Tambor is probably still a front runner, and he could easily win this again. Yeah. And I think he's excellent in that anyway. Not butt-gustingly funny, but really, really good.
If someone from Transparent wins, I really hope it's Judith Light. She's in contention in supporting actress, isn't she? I have her in second after Kate McKinnon, who pretty much has this wrapped up. Yeah, but it's not even worth talking about. It's such a lot.
I have some questions. Do you all have Leslie Jones in your list? Because I do.
No.
Okay, so I'm the only person.
I love Andrea Martin.
So do I. I haven't even seen her yet, but Andrea Martin, she needs to get nominated for something, because she's really, really good in The Good Fight, and she's really good she should be really good in this. It's a Tina Fey show. So, yeah.
Why do you have Leslie Jones?
Why? I just think she's had a little bit of a breakthrough, and I think this category is open. It's not as stacked as some of the others, in my opinion.
I have Jane Krakowski getting back in.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I would love that.
She's one that can come in and come out and get back in.
Do you all have Mayim Bialik? That's the only Big Bang Theory person I have. Okay. So does that mean you just completely blanked out that show across the board for all of you?
Yes.
I think Kim Parsons and maybe Bialik could get back in and when they the final season maybe. But that's one of those things. What about Adam Driver? Can he come back one more time? Like maybe Girls' last nomination.
Well, Girls get anything, because it's been quite heralded for this last season, which I have to catch up to.
Riz Ahmed could get into guest actor. Comedy. I think he's not in a lot.
Last year.
All right, let's refocus back on supporting actress, because that seems to be where we were going with Kate McKinnon. Sure. Is she the lock? I mean, Allison Janney, her decision was because they felt that Kate McKinnon was locked in this category, so they shifted her over to lead actress. I mean, is Kate McKinnon that uber lock that people seem to think?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's more of a lock this year than last year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, what if Netflix has success with this little show called One Day at a Time, and EGOT winner Rita Moreno category? Is there any shot for Rita Moreno to possibly upset?
Yes, there is.
No.
I mean, we have her in our overall predictions. Gold Derby has her in 5th place right now, which means that she'll get in. If you're thinking a popular vote, do you think she's
Rita Moreno? Well,
why didn't she get in when she guested on? Well, that's a CW show, but still, I don't know if.
There you go. You answered your question.
Just being an EGOT winner means you're going to win another Emmy.
They're pushing that show. Netflix is pushing that show quite a bit. And
they are.
But I think
I've been getting emails from them and screaming.
Yeah, they've had 2 FYC events already.
I know, but I think Kate McKinnon has all the goodwill in the world and all of the anti-Trump. It's just all funneled right into her, perfectly for her.
But we're talking about, can Rita Moreno even make it into the nominations list? Yes, the answer is definitely yes.
Yeah, it's probably going to be either her or like Andrea Martin. I don't think both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's such like an open kind of weak category. I feel like after Kate McKinnon, there's just a huge drop in like
maybe Judith Light.
Yeah,
and maybe Judith finally pull it off.
Her season has not been the best for her.
She'll have to have a bigger storyline, because right now she doesn't have one.
She doesn't have the episode right now, but
right. So there's still 6-7 episodes left.
If Kate McKinnon doesn't win, it will be Judith Light, and she'll win for Who's the Boss. I think we've said that before. As well as her
Don't tell
amazing
Tony
performance in the
that, 'cause he
finale.
will
I
send
know.
you home.
I've discussed this with Tony, but the finale of Transparent, the season finale, she's so good in that, and she's probably in second place. I think she's the competitor for Kate McKinnon, and if she wins, it will be because of the overdue factor.
Probably.
I think in a normal year she would, but this year there's just
Kate.
so much going for Kate McKinnon.
The most locked
She
category
beat
of
Julia
the day.
Louis-Dreyfus at the Critics' Choice Awards.
I'm not sure she's the most locked category of the night, because then we have Alec Baldwin in supporting
I
actor.
don't think that's locked.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's probably the most locked category of the night. He plays
I have him in
Donald
second.
Trump, and oh my, who do you have him first? Tony Hill, please don't
Come
say
on,
Tony
really?
Hill.
Louis Anderson.
No, Louis Anderson, man. Louis freaking
I mean,
Anderson.
Yes.
Louis had his
my
his
God.
time, and I would predict him
No,
again
he-
if Alec Baldwin was not in the supporting race.
Louis is so much better in season 2 than he was in season 1.
I'm just
He's
wondering
He's heartbreaking.
Yes.
He's great.
You want
You
to hug
can-
him in every single scene.
That
Yeah,
episode where he swims in the lake, I just want to watch it
Mhm.
again right now.
Well,
Insane.
while I agree, I just wonder if this new system is going to favor
Alec Baldwin.
non-streaks, like where we see
Yeah.
people win 5-6 times. Maybe this was one of those with a plurality vote. We don't really
Yeah.
know if it's going to favor people repeating as much, or maybe it's going to favor
Yes.
new winners.
I think you're
So
right.
if-
And Ralph, to give you credit, I think you're a kind of, I don't even want to say this, it's so heartbreaking. You are right, because who has been more in the zeitgeist than Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump? Really, he will win this in a heartbeat. But I'm
And
just
look,
trying to argue.
I'm with you guys on Louis. I remember last year I predicted him when some of you didn't even predict him,
I
and you
certainly
loved him
did.
so much because I thought he had that transformative role. And I've loved Louis since Life with Louis since I was a little kid on his
I had
cartoon.
him from the
But
very beginning.
you cannot,
He's
like Amanda
amazing.
says, you have to be a realist, and you cannot deny the impact that Alec Baldwin has
Mhm.
had with Donald Trump.
And
Same
it
as
will
Tina
really
Fey.
piss off your president.
Exactly.
So he'll be.
It will. Can you imagine?
And there's one thing I just want to bring up in this category we've seen for the past 5 years is that there has been a sketch player nominated. So if that still holds true, that means that somebody from either SNL or one of these sketch shows is going to get in that we're not expecting, because we've seen, oh gosh, I can't remember his name from Saturday Night Live. Bill
Fred
Hader.
Armisen.
Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, and then Keegan-Michael Key. So we've seen 5 sketch players in a row, or 5
Alec Baldwin
nominations in a row.
will be the one.
Yeah, there's Alec Baldwin. So he would be the first to win.
Right.
Man, would that be a good night for SNL? And they'll probably take sketch series if they win both supporting races.
By the way, if Atlanta is as big as it could be, Brian Tyree Henry could easily get a nomination. Just go along with the Atlanta ride.
Again, it's one of those auteur shows. If it happens, it'll show a lot of support for their chances of winning. It will definitely improve it. But
if he gets in, you could almost see the show winning because they love the show. Like,
yeah.
What about Ty Burrell?
I have Ty Burrell in there.
Yeah,
I think he's consistently good on the show. I have Matt Walsh in because I think he looks competent compared to Sean Spicer, but I'm probably going to have to take him out.
I'm sure you all have Titus Burgess in.
Yeah. I wish Titus Burgess has like an amazing, like they give him something crazy, amazing musical to do, and he finally wins his Emmy.
I think he's the highlight of the show. I think even if you don't like the show, I don't really dig the show. I don't really watch it, but I don't mind his character. I think he's quite funny. So there's that. That's why I've got him in there. But this category
But we already agreed. Next year, it's Sean Hayes is locked. Megan Mullally is locked.
We're
going back to like 2001 here, right? Is that what we're?
You're calling locks for 2019.
We forget what happened with the Arrested Development reboot when we all started saying Will Arnett was going to win, and
I think that was maybe because they released it all like the day before voting ended, and the voters didn't have time to watch it.
It's possible, but
and the format was pretty different than what the original Arrested Development was. I mean, it was so focused like one character per episode. It was not what we were used to. Kind of like what Veep's doing this year. Just not what we're used to, and Emmy voters don't like to have the rug pulled out from under them.
Do you think just to ask you about supporting actor for a comedy series. You think if Silicon Valley is on the rise and it's about to become Veep's biggest competition, does Zach Woods finally get in? Does TJ Miller get in?
I hope so.
I love Zach
Woods.
Woods.
TJ Miller, I'm not sure about, but Zach Woods, I would love for him to get in.
He is hilarious. He's my favorite character.
Yeah, he should have made it last year.
I don't know how he seduced a woman when he's living in a garage, but
I don't know. He should have won last. Been nominated last year, so there's a problem with that. I think
he should have been nominated the first season for the series finale, where he was just crazy.
Silicon Valley keeps growing. Got Thomason last year for the first time. It could keep, just keep growing and growing.
So I'm saying that's why they've got to look out for it on the. It's got a snob appeal. It's about people wanting to get rich. It's what everybody wants to do, right? Find a way to make more money. Emmy voters in Hollywood. That's what everybody wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yeah.
Do you think Veep could get it? Do you think Tony Hale could have gone lead this year? Because he's in every scene with Julia Louis-Dreyfus just to open the category up for like maybe another Veep player.
I can't see that.
Maybe he should just go lead. I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about because he's in every scene with her. They're interacting more than usual. He's not just like window dressings this season.
He's not the focus of the scene, though. He is, even though he's in it, he doesn't have the presence of a lead character.
But I still think he could squeak out the nomination, and that would at least. There's so many Veep guys. That's just the problem.
Yeah, there are a lot of Veep guys, but not a lot of them deserve to be nominated. I think we have a pretty strong batch of supporting. Maybe they can go into the drama or to the comedy supporting actress category because, as we said, that one's kind of clear. Like anybody can get back in there. But all right, well, great, Rob. I know you have to go pretty soon, so we're gonna wrap this up. That's what we got on the comedy side. We just rambled on pretty much. Didn't really make any coherent sense. So hopefully, people can pick things out of there. And we'll hopefully do this again in a couple weeks. We want to do what? Guest categories. We want to do limited writing, directing. So we have a few coming up in the next week or so.